Patrick Williams. Does this look as weird as it looks on my screen for you guys? Yes, it does. So can we, I don't know why this isn't zooming in. There we go. Now, guys, Patrick Williams is a guy that I wouldn't necessarily say people are coveting. I think at this point, I mean, he still has potential to become the offensive player that we had hope. Everybody, when he was coming out of the draft, was like, oh, this guy's going to be baby Kawhi or Kawhi 2.0. That's not the case. I think at this point, he is a very efficient, low volume offensive player who's a great fifth starter on a good to championship team. He's going to be an all defensive team caliber combo forward who can guard 1 through 4, 2 through 3 easily. He's going to give you 10 points a night. He's going to give you like 5 rebounds, maybe an assist or 2, and guard the opposing team's best player. Was he picked maybe a little bit too high? Sure, maybe. Is there still a chance that he can grow offensively? Yes, sure. But a spade is a spade, and there's nothing wrong with him. He's a great player. He's probably going to get a contract at least the Matisse Thybulle, which was 11, like 3 years, 35 million. I think he probably gets closer to 4 year. I'd say 4 years, 60 million. Give him 15 a year. And then he's going to be a guy that, for example, Oklahoma City, why would they be interested in him? Because now you go ahead and you have yourself Oklahoma City going with a lineup. Because you moved off Josh Giddey, you're able to go Lou Dort, Shea, Jay Will, Patrick Williams, Chet. And that's a really good defensive team. Now, in another way, the Raptors, they're trying to go young, but like they've also got this very interesting lineup of, if we're looking at the roster for the Raptors, they with RJ Barrett, and they're going to bring back Emmanuel quickly. They have Jakob Poeltl. They're going to trade Bruce Brown. And that's another thing, is that if you were looking at this, if Patrick Williams were to come in, it makes moving Bruce Brown even easier. But you have Kelly Olynyk. You're probably moving off Chris Boucher, but you have Grady Dick, Jalen McDaniels, Ochai Agbaji. So it continues to go with this trend that they've had, that they like these, next to RJ Barrett and Scotty Barnes and Patrick Williams. You right there have a lot of size between the 2, the 3, the 4. And all you need, if you believe Emmanuel Quickly, is that point guard. Quickly's the point guard right there, and Poeltl's the center. And you still have Grady Dick, Agbaji off the bench, Kelly Olynyk, and whatever you get back in return for Bruce Brown if you do get something back. Charlotte, they're trying to become a better defensive team. They've just been really bad defensively over the last years. You get a guy who's a good 3-point shooter. He's not going to take the ball out of anybody's hands. And what he's going to do is he's going to be able to help the Charlotte Hornets shore up their defense. He fits perfectly next to Brandon Miller, Grant Williams, LaMelo Ball, Cody Martin, Vasilija Micic, Nick Richards, Trey Mann, Mark Williams, Nick Smith, Seth Curry, who are all probably going to be there next year. So for me, all 3 teams make sense. I think Oklahoma City's the best bet for him. It's going to develop him. He's going to be in a great culture. He's going to be on a team that he fits the timeline for. And I really think if I were him, I would go to Oklahoma City. Oklahoma, even if they were if these 3 teams both offered him the same amount of money and OKC offered the least amount, I would choose OKC, because I feel like that stint in OKC would pay dividends more than, I think going to OKC could lead to a bigger contract, bigger third contract, than maybe go to the Raptors or Hornets, where he could maybe not develop the way that we hope. So that's actually my opinion on that one. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What would you guys do if you were Patrick Williams? I think it's definitely a interesting turn of events. And how he's developed as a player. So I think for me, the biggest thing is understanding that we know this is coming from Jake Fisher, by the way, but it seems like they're going to try to do a sign and trade. So $15 million a year. Maybe they send the Thunder, and that's why I think the Thunder would be great for this, because maybe they just do like, oh, here's Ousmane Dieng, and you go ahead and say, okay, here's Ousmane Dieng, or not even Ousmane Dieng, maybe Kenrick Williams. You say, here's Kenrick Williams. They've already done one trade with the Bulls, so maybe they do another, or maybe they don't. I think the Charlotte Hornets, what would they be able to offer you? And we're going off of like 15 million, so you'd only be able to take half of that salary back. That's a Vasilija Micic. That's which Carniso, the president of basketball operations of the Bulls, is a European gentleman, so Micic could intrigue him. Or there's like Nick Richards. So I think just looking at that, it makes sense.